Hey, what's going on, everybody? Boilon here, and welcome to another video on Lord of the Rings Home. Today we have a couple of things to talk about, and also I want to apologize to everyone who follows the channel here on Lord of the Rings, because, if you watch some of my most recent videos, there's not always a lot to talk about in this game. And so I don't want to put out videos just for fulfilling some sort of video quota for the week. I want to kind of bring out some videos when there's something to talk about, when I think that we should talk about it. As you guys know, things are not, I don't want to say stale, but it's just slow moving, right? And so there's not always, I don't want to regurgitate things I've already said. But today we had the announcement via Tana having the exclusive reveal for the Eladin kit. We're going to take a look at it a little bit, and I'm going to leave a link to his video down below. And honestly, I want to say to Tana and to all of Tana's followers, congratulations, because I know that he never got shit when it came to Marvel Strike Force, and I'm really glad that at least here on Lord of the Rings with Capital Games that he's actually getting some approval, which is really great. So we're going to be taking a look at the kit of the character, but it's not just Eladin. I want to talk about more broadly, like what this means for free-to-play, what this means for the upcoming Elrond, and what kind of path forward there is for free-to-play players. I kind of want to talk a little bit about Halbarad as well in this video, so we're going to get to that a bit later on. So if you're ready to go, everybody, let's boil this down. And I lost my scene. Where's my scene? There we go. I screwed up my own video. Okay. Sorry, guys. So here's the first thing that I want to show you guys. Is the trait. A lot of this is not surprising. We kind of knew if you've seen Eladin in-game. Eladin is the tank for the team. He's the tank for the Rivendell team, but just a tank more broadly, and he's going to be a very good character. Now, he has the elf tag, obviously, and he's got the Rivendell tag, obviously, and he's a ranger. Now, this part is what's interesting and why I want to kind of cover this in the second half of the video as well. Eladin is a ranger, alongside Elro here, who is also a ranger. And so this presents some very interesting arguments for Halbarad later on, who is the one who wields the ranger trait, the ranger leader ability, and also has some passives in reference to rangers as well. Now, I just want to jump ahead a little bit to, you can watch the full video, and like I said, I'm going to leave that link in the description down below of this, and if you want to watch the animations and stuff for his attacks, we can do that. But I want to skip ahead to this part, and this is where we see the character lowdown. Can I actually expand? Oh, okay. Well, you can see that's the basic up there. It just says basic up here. So attack the target enemy for 260% damage. Now all this is going to be at presumably 6666 or whatever, and inflict weaken for 2 turns or offense down if you're from Marvel Strike Force. So that's good. But I don't know when that second turn is going to kick in, because we know that that's relevant to the ability upgrades. So I'm not sure about that yet until we see him in game. Special, gain 4 stacks of provoke. That's a lot. I would imagine that's maxed out, of course, as well. Right now with my Eothane, I get 3. So just to give you an idea of what that's probably going to look like. It'll probably look like something similar to Eothane. Gain 1 stack of regen for 2 turns. That's not bad as well. Extra survivability. And grant deadly. My frame cuts that off a little bit. For 1 turn to self and 3 random allies. Now, deadly gives you enhanced critical chance. I'm pretty sure it's 25%. So that'll make the entire team stronger. Special 2, attack all enemies for 300. So this is an AoE attack. And AoE attacks are very strong in Lord of the Rings. We have Strider's ult, we have Ironhide's every skill is an AoE. Those are the main Eothane's ult as well. There's a lot of main skills that we have that do AoE damage, and they're very powerful. I think AoE is actually a little bit overpowered in this game, because back in the beta, for those of you who might have played the beta, a lot of these AoE skills were not AoE. They were line cleaves or row cleaves. So Strider's ability was actually a line cleave. I think it looked a little bit different as well, the animation. And the Ironhide special, where he does a swipe, that was actually just a row attack as well. So there was many attacks that were changed from a row attack to just a full AoE. And I think because the original design of the character was with those in mind, that now it's become characters like Ironhide to be a lot more powerful than maybe they were designed to be in the first place. But I digress. This is about Eladin. So 300% AoE and gain 1 stamina or energy for this ability, for this specific ability. I guess it's not for all the abilities, it's just for that one, per boon on self. Now, he's already, if you use this turn 2, you're already going to have provoke, potentially. You're going to have deadly. You're going to have regen. And so that doesn't even count all the other characters, right? The other elves that do give boons, or other characters that you're using with him that are going to give boons. So very likely, unless this has a super high cooldown, that you might be able to spam this. And that's what's crazy, because it's an AoE attack, and I just explained how overpowered AoE attacks are. And he gains even more stats on Provoke. So that's pretty crazy. Now his passive on turn gain 1 stack of Nimble and then 10% resistance. So it's not super crazy, and I don't think that's really that important. The Nimble is really good, because that's, like a Vage from Marvel Strike Force. Very good. And like Tana pointed out in the video, that will basically eliminate anyone who's using a powerful single target attack. That's a non-basic, I guess, and that'll make them miss. And especially on the AI, because the AI is kind of dumb. So that's really good there too. Now, I want to talk about what this means for free-to-play players. So we're going to get him as an adventure character. Now, I think we pretty much understood that. I'm going to go back into the game now, and we're going to get Eladin like we did with... Oh, Arwen's gone now. So I was going to go back in here to show Arwen's. Arwen's is gone now. But it's going to be like Arwen's adventure. So you're going to get it unlocked at level 30. You're going to get a free 3-star, which is great. Honestly, if you picked up Arwen and you're going to pick up Eladin, this is a great starting point for free-to-play players. It doesn't take very long to get to level 30, and I think it's going to be very, very good. And so you do want to build elves free-to-play for your light side. I brought this up before, but I feel that it was missed over, because a lot of people felt that if you're not going to get Elrond, then there isn't much of a point to building the elves. And I highly disagree with this statement. I feel that everyone is going to benefit from building the elves. And I think that if you want to build this potentially as a raid team or an arena, honestly, I think it might be both, that they're going to be very good for different reasons, even if you don't get Elrond. In lieu of Elrond, I think that Halbarad is going to be a very strong character. We're going to talk more about that. But in terms of getting Eladin unlocked, I'll tell you what my plan is. So I'm going to get him 3-star. I'm going to get him unlocked that way. I probably will buy his offer. So I think I skipped on this for Arwen, but I think I will do this for Eladin, because I think that his value is going to be much greater than Arwen, despite being on the same team. I think I want to have a higher star Eladin, and I'm going to be using Eladin to unlock Elrond for his event. So I'm going for the 5-star Eladin. I'll be doing videos on that and probably some polls when I get that. So yeah, I'm going to do a little bit of whaling on Eladin for the purposes of Elrond, which is a bit different than my usual content for Marvel Strike Force, where I spend 0. But that's probably soon out the door as well, as I'm sure a lot of you would understand. And I'm looking forward to that. Now let's talk about what I was really getting at for the second. Oh, there we get this. By the way, terrible offer. If you're going to buy any of the bundles at all, there's going to be that other one that's in there for the darkness. For the dark crystals, this one here is much greater for the same price. 60 crystals and all those catalysts for the same price as this one. Don't buy this one. If you're going to buy any of them, buy this one. But just saying. I would really like an offer like this, but for light crystals. Just saying. So let's talk about... stop showing it now. So let's talk about Halbarad. So we know this is... By the way, this is my lineup of elves. I kind of want to show this on every video just so people can see my progress so far. Naramiri is almost at 5-star. Elro here has been 5-star for a little while because I transitioned to farming Naramiri, and then Leliel and Lomian are on their way to 4-star. We do have the login calendar, of course, as well, so I think there's an extra 25 to 30 shards for these characters in there, and I am farming them twice daily, just so people are aware. That's what I'm doing, and that's my plan for these characters. And then, like I said, I'm going to go out of my way for Eladin a little bit. I'm going to buy that offer, that first offer for 4-star, and I will buy those chests to try and get me to 5-star. And that's my plan for Elrond. Now, as far as how high you need to get to Elrond, I really don't... I'm hoping that you don't need much more than like 40 G6, personally, for the 5-star unlock, but we'll see. If it's G5, even better. But we'll see how high we need to take them out, because we don't have any official word on that. But I want to talk about Halbarad. I also want to talk about how much I regret going for Bolg. So I'm going to spend a minute talking about this. Because when you're buying either Bolg or Halbarad out of the challenge store, you need to choose. Free to play, it took me quite a while to get Bolg unlocked. And I immediately regretted it because I'm not using him anywhere. And maybe I probably will down the line, but right now I'm not. And I think that we're in like a light meta right now, more so than ever. I think that we're kind of, at least for the moment, for the next month, we're kind of in a bit of a light side meta, not a dark side meta. So, we will get some use out of Bolg later down the line, most likely, in some other combination. But he's only good if you have Tordok, and that's Bolg's bodyguard, essentially. So if you don't have the two of them in a team, it's not as good. Bolg has some nice leader traits for the shadow side, but in the end, though, like for other game modes, I think that you're going to want Halbarad. And so I immediately regret spending my 45 shards on Bolg instead of going for Halbarad, because it takes so long to get those challenge tokens to get the shards for him. They're both a 2-star unlock, but the rate in which you get these are god-awful. Absolutely god-awful. It's so slow. You get like, I don't know, 2 shards is 1,000 tokens, and you get that once a week. Or sorry, 3 times a week. So you get like 6 shards every week. I don't know. It's something really bad. You started with quite a bit in the beginning. I believe I did anyways. I got some sort of bulk challenge token thing. But then in terms of how much you get, like right now I'm at tier 4. So I'm getting 1,200 each time, 3 times a week. That's 3,600. So I'm getting, I don't know, what is that? 7 shards a week. So if I want to get to 45 shards, I'm looking at 5 more weeks for Halbarad free to play. And I guess that's by the time that Elrond's going to come out and I'll actually have him. But I'm only, as far as my shards for Halbarad, where am I? 13 out of 45. So I still need 32. So yeah, I need like 4 and a bit weeks, or upgrading on that challenge. I need to do better on that one. But Halbarad is going to present a very interesting combination, not only for Arena, and some people already have him, which is great. You know, if you have Halbarad, you're in a good position. Honestly, he was hyped up very early on by a tier list, by Tana's tier list, and when it wasn't wrong, it's just I felt at the time he was overhyped, but now I'm like, okay, you know, now I wish I had him. So I'm kind of like, you know, I was kind of up and like this about Halbarad. In the early game, I didn't feel it that much, but then now that I see all the Ranger stuff coming out for the other elves, I'm like, okay, there's going to be some value out of Halbarad, and now I'm regretting my choices. But the reason why is, there's a couple of reasons. There's a lot of great synergy. He's also one of the best healers in the game right now, outside of Elrond, you know, who's going to come out later. We don't even know Elrond's kit, but so his passive gives Ranger squad members extra max health. Even at level 2, it's plus 5%, which might not sound like a lot, but that's going to boost both Elrohir and Eladin's max health. And if you do happen to get it to 5, which is pretty high up there, but that'll give an extra, oh, sorry, not 2%, 4, level 4, you'll get 7% max health. Eladin's a tank, so that'll be pretty good. But almost everything in Halbarad's kit is going to benefit both Elrohir and Eladin. So you get Ranger of the North. If you want to use this leader ability until you get Elrond, or even if you don't get Elrond, he is going to be a very great choice for this. Ranger of the North. So the Ranger members gain extra focus. They also have this thing about when they receive Eagle Eye, they gain advantage. Now, I don't think that Eladin's going to be able to get Eagle Eye very much, because I think you need to use Miri in order to get that to happen. But Elrohir can obtain Eagle Eye on his own, because he can obtain Stealth. And so there's a thing about when they get Stealth, that they always get Eagle Eye. Or is that with Miri? I thought when a Ranger member gains Eagle Eye, it's how you get Eagle Eye. And I'm pretty sure that's part of his passive. When a Ranger ally gains Stealth, grant Eagle Eye, and Elrohir can get Stealth. So therefore, by running the leader ability, that he also gets advantage. Yes, I know it's confusing, but basically, if a Ranger gets Stealth, they can get Eagle Eye. And if they can get Eagle Eye, they can get advantage. And advantage is a guaranteed crit. So I don't think this is going to happen necessarily on Eladin much, which is a shame because he's got AoE. And that would be a guaranteed crit on an AoE, which would be really, really good. But nonetheless, there's still lots of focus and stuff given out to the Rangers, which will really help because they all have debuffs, including Eladin, who had that offense down on his basic. Also, like I said, Halbarad is one of the best healers in the game. He has got the #1 health pool in the game, which means that his healing is going to be very, very good. It's based on his max health. So he is on a cooldown of 4, which is very short for a good heal, good strong heal like this. And at level 6, he's going to heal all allies. So very, very strong character, honestly. And then with his his other attack, this does a little bit less with Miri. But nonetheless, you know, it's still actually a pretty good attack anyway. So, and down here on crit, grant deadly to all Ranger squad members. So there's lots of synergy with Halbarad. Now, what kind of team lineup do I see or envision with Halbarad? Well, obviously, we'll just start with Halbarad, right? Make sure he's on that team at some point. And then, of course, we'll scroll to the top. So Elrohir, Arwen, Eladin, and that's 4 characters right there. So I guess it really depends on whether or not you get Elrond. If you get Elrond, you're going to use Elrond in that 5th slot. And honestly, I think that very much you could have both Elrond and Halbarad in the same team, with Elrohir, Arwen, and Eladin. Because no longer is there really synergy with Strider and Arwen, so it doesn't really matter if you use Strider. Strider has very limited Ranger synergy as well, so it doesn't really matter too much there either. But in terms of Arena, and I could see this as an amazing raid team. So Halbarad, Arwen, Elrohir, Eladin, and Elrond, insane raid team. You could use Lomian if you're not going to get Elrond. Another good choice, obviously, for Arena would be none other than Gaz. Ironhide Troll. I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to give this guy up. Because, like I said in the beginning, AoE is king. He's got 2 of them. He's a very strong character. And actually, the fact that you're going to have Halbarad and Eladin tanking means that Ironhide is going to survive longer. And so as far as Arena goes, that's more AoE attacks and more wiping of the battlefield. And I'm just wow. The only thing that I am disappointed with, and I'm going to bring up this back again, is it seems like they actually removed the retaliation portion of Eladin's kit. So Eladin's old kit from the beta had him retaliating when people hit Elrohir. So if anyone hit Elrohir, Eladin would smack back. And that's a bit disappointing because Elrohir basically still has that retaliate if anyone is tanking and gets hit. Don't know why they got rid of this portion of Eladin's kit. It's a little bit disappointing because I thought it made him a lot better. But other than that, I'm very excited to see how this team functions, how this team works out, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And I wouldn't count out the Elves even if you're going to be free to play. I think that there's going to be room for them, especially if you have Halbarad or are going to get Halbarad soon and use them together. I think that's going to be awesome. So let me know in the comments down below what you think. And of course, until next video, stay safe and healthy, and I'll see you all later. Boilon signing out.